Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. This video will also be about color theory, but in this case we will be using gouache. So I'm using Primeart gouache paint. This is not the best quality paint, but it's also not a bad quality paint. It's very pigmented and it's been an absolute joy to work with that. So today's video will obviously be similar to my oil pastel video. It's going to follow most of the same process. I will be showing you how I'm going to change up my mixing methods, and I guess let's just get into the video so that you can see what we're doing. So I've already prepared a paper that lays out everything that we will be doing. So I've labeled them primary colors, secondary colors, and tertiary colors. We will have 3 primary, 3 secondary, and 6 tertiary colors. I will be labeling them as we go. First up, we are wetting our brush. And then I'm going to just wet the little block that I've allocated to the color. It just helps the paper absorb a little bit better. So for color number 1, we will be going with yellow. Just wet my brush a little bit, and then I'm going to take the tiniest little bit, and that's going to give me the pigment that I need for the entire block. I'm going to add a tiny little bit more just to emphasize the brightness of this yellow. It's really bright. It's really amazing to work with this, especially if you're doing sunflowers. Right, that is the shade of our yellow. Next up, we are going to go in with red. I'm going to do the same as I did with the yellow. You're only using the tiniest little bit, and you can see how saturated this colors are. This looks a little bit more on the pink side, but it will darken when it dries. And I also didn't take a lot to put in here, and the paper is also a little bit more wet than I thought it was going to be, but it's not an issue. You can take a little bit more, so I'm going to do now, and I'm going to darken this up. Okay, that's how far we're going to go with the red, but you can see that it is quite a bright, warm red that we are using. Next up is the blue. I'm going to try not to wet the paper as much as I did with the red. And then take a little bit of blue most of these blocks I will be using the same method: wet the block, take up the color and put it down. I did a few practice runs before I started this video, just because I wanted to see what's going to be the best way to explain to everyone how you use gouache. So it is a lot like watercolor. It's just it's more solid. So it's like a watercolor that you can't see through, even though if you make it thin enough you can. It's not that different from watercolor, so you can follow this tutorial even if you don't have gouache. You can use this tutorial for watercolor as well. I have misplaced my watercolors, so this is a set that I bought last year to do a couple of experimentations, and I really liked it, so I would prefer this over watercolor. Next up, we're going to move this out of the way because I'll be mixing my colors on this sheet before I put it on here. So first we will have blue and red, which is going to make purple. And we're going to make orange with yellow and red. And then we're going to make green with yellow and blue. With the secondary colors, you're going to mix equal parts of each color. So I'm going to try and get the same amount yellow than I'm getting red, and also with blue. So I'm going to start with purple. Let's pick up a tiny drop. I'm going to place it there. And then a tiny drop of blue. And then I'm mixing it on this piece of plastic, I guess. It's the same type of plastic that you use in your files. Okay, so my brush is absorbing all of the color. It does seem a little bit too blue, so I might just add a tiny bit of red more. There we go. I'm going to just quickly dip it in there because I did not wet my paper before, and then I'm going to go in. So at this point my brush is holding a lot of liquid water, and to get all of that out I'm going to be tapping my brush on here. So you can see that as I tap, more of the pigment comes out and the water gets onto the paper. As you can see, this is quite a neutral purple. It's not bright, it's not too blue, it's not too red. This is a textured paper, so it is going to make these little grooves. It's going to fall into texture. Right, there we have a lovely purple. It's going to dry a little bit lighter than what you see at the moment, but that is the purple we're looking for. Make sure you clean your brush properly because we started off with a dark color and we are going to go lighter. Next up, I'm going to take a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red. I'm going to mix that. This is a slightly darker orange than I would usually mix, but it is orange nonetheless. So I can take a little bit of yellow and just mix my brush, go in again. It's not gonna do much. So we're gonna leave it at this and then move on to green. I'm going to wet my block before I forget again. Okay, and then we're going to mix green. Take a drop of yellow. And a drop of blue. And mix that. Does look a little bit more blue than green, so I'm going to go take another little bit of yellow. I'm happy with that, so let's see how it looks. It's not a dark green. It's also not a light green, it's kind of in the middle. I'm just tapping my brush again to get all of the pigment and the water out. Your brush absorbs a lot more than you think. So when you think there's no more color left on your brush, just do what I'm doing right now, and then you will see if maybe you can pull out a little bit more. And then we have our secondary colors, purple, orange and green. So you get that mixing equal parts of your primary colors. We're going to go over to the tertiary colors right now. And what we're going to do is look at what we're going to mix of each color. So we will have a red purple and a blue purple. Then we'll have a red orange and a yellow orange, and then we'll have a yellow green and a blue green. So I'm going to just title each of them now so that we know what we're going to mix. First up, I want to start with the oranges. So we will have a red orange on this side, and then a yellow orange this side. After that, I want to do green. So we're going to do a blue green on this side, and a yellow green this side. And last, we're going to do purple. I'm going to have a blue purple, and a red purple. Right. So for this, I actually just going to use my brush and clean this up. Okay, that's not the proper way to clean, but that's what I can do right now. Next, we will do a red orange. So I will be mixing orange again, but this time it's just going to have a little bit more red in it. So it's not quite red and it's not quite orange, but it is more red than orange. So if you compare this to that, you can clearly see it's more red than that. Next up, we're going to do a yellow orange. So this is going to mean we're using more yellow than red. I'm going to mix that on top of what we've already mixed, because it is the same shade of color. Okay. So if you compare this color to that color, you can see there's a lot more yellow pigment. Okay, that's what we have for our oranges. Next, we're going to do our greens. So let's take the yellow. And we're making a blue-green first, so this is going to be more blue than yellow. Okay, I think we have the right shade. This looks a lot like a turquoise right now. So it's definitely green, but there's more blue in the green, so that's why it's looking turquoise. But it is quite a darker green. Next up, we're doing a yellow-green. That's just going to be a lot more yellow than blue. So it's definitely a lighter and brighter green than that. Right, so next up we have our purples. So we're making a blue purple, so I'm going to take the red and we're going to use more blue than we are using red. Okay. This is definitely a blue purple. It's very much on the blue side. But it is darker than this shade, so we've done our job. Next up we have a red purple. So that means it's going to be more red than blue. Okay. Now, of course, you can get all of these other colors in your set that you buy, but when someday you just have your primary colors to work with, you will be able to make all of these colors, and we haven't even started adding white or black. You're just going to add white or black when you want to have another shade of purple, but you can add water to have a more translucent purple if you want to perhaps glaze over your artwork with a color. But that said, we have made all our colors on our color wheel that is there, and you'll see that we haven't even used a lot of our paint. And the thing with gouache paint is it is similar to watercolor paint. So that means if you let it dry like that, you'll be able to use it again. It's not like acrylic where it's going to dry and you won't be able to touch it. Oil paint is going to dry and you won't be able to touch it. So even though oil paint takes a lot longer to dry. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative, and I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys are able to use it. It's been such a pleasure working with this medium, and I will be making a lot more videos on my artworks. I'm going to take you along how I am going to make some books and design them. But that's it for today. I hope you guys stay safe and you stay indoors, and I hope you guys are all healthy. Please don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that you do not miss out on any new videos. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.